Hey, how are you feeling? Good. I know you're up and walking around, but I don't know, I'll feel better when we know for sure. Especially since I know that trial took a lot out of you. Sitting in that room for hours on end, having our entire past looked at through a microscope, it would have been exhausting even for a completely healthy person. Yeah, it did for me too. But you were the one who slept for 14 hours afterwards. I called Dr. Endra twice. He kept assuring me that you would be just fine, but I was worried.
I told you I had the monitoring under control, Captain. Did you doubt me?
No, Z, of course not.
Renegade is right. You worry too much.
You think I worry too much? You were the one who insisted on carrying me to the lavatory and sponge bathing me after I was shot because you didn't want me to slip in the shower. And I'm the one that worries too much.
Both of your brains would operate much more efficiently if they did not dedicate resources to worrying. I cannot compute how you are able to function on a day-to-day basis.
And you're one to talk.
I haven't the slightest idea what you are talking about.
Setting off every alarm, including drive engine failure sirens, just because I missed my medication by 30 minutes, ring a bell? Did you just laugh?
I believe I did.
Z.
Kajani tells me that I am more like Kira every single day.
I mean, it's true. You are.
Should I consider changing my designation?
What do you mean?
If I am becoming more like Kira, do you wish me to change my name to hers? It is a possibility that over time, my personality may become so similar to hers that you will not notice a difference from day to day.
Z, a lot of Kira is present in who you are. But you're still you. You started out differently than she did. You have had different experiences than she did. And I think the reason that you're growing more like her has less to do with the personality fingerprint and more to do with the fact that you were both influenced by looking after me and Kajani. No one can replace Kira, but no one can replace you either. You are your own being. You're wholly unique. And if you want to change your designation, you absolutely can, but don't do it because you're trying to be someone else. Do it because you want to build up your own identity.
But I am simply an AI, a program meant to run a ship.
You're not just any AI. And you're not just part of someone I loved and lost. You're you. You're the sum of your experiences. You're talented and funny, and your family. My family. Renegade's right. Our family.
Is that why you did not want to stay in accommodations provided on the Capitol? Based on the reviews for the suite that the Senator offered you, sitting on a docked ship is by far the inferior option.
What can I say, Z? We missed you. And besides, the docks are closer to the hospital than the housing would have been.
Speaking of the hospital, Dr. Endra is on the line.
Answer it. Dr. Endra, hi. Any news?
Hello, Captain. Renegade. Yes, I've got news.
Okay. Can I take your hand? Thanks.
Let me get the most important bit out of the way. You will be just fine. Repeated tests have demonstrated that there is no damage to the internal organs, no risk of failure, and there appears to be no negative effects on the mental faculties.
What about long-term?
We've been reviewing the tests conducted over the last few weeks and comparing them to notes from patients who've recovered from the Gengo several months ago. I don't foresee any issues long-term.
That's a huge relief.
I will say, though, that your strength and increased agility will likely remain. That's not a concern for us. The weakness you're currently experiencing is temporary, a short-term side effect of the extreme strain you were put through. Our tests are showing no decline in bone density or muscle mass. As far as we can tell, you'll continue to have this super strength for the rest of your life. Once you've fully recovered, you'll start to see those abilities present themselves in full again. You'll need to be careful, though. Some patients on the standard dose have accidentally broken things. Drinking cups, flight controls, even a metal door frame in one case when they gripped it for support to put on their shoes. I'd imagine that you'll have an even greater risk, so use caution as you adjust. Of course, I'd like to see you every few months just to look you over. Otherwise, you've got a clean bill of health from me. Just make sure you contact me at once if anything is amiss, alright?
We will. Thank you, Doctor.
Farewell, you two.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just relieved. I've had this knot in my stomach for weeks, it feels like, for one reason or another. And now it's gone. I can breathe again. What now? Well, Kajani said we have to take a break. So we will. But I'm not retiring just yet. Of course, I still want to be a contractor for the government, specifically for Kajani, but I thought, what if... Look, Ripley is behind bars. He's on a maximum security prison ship for the rest of his life. All of the kids that worked for him have been moved to a secure facility, and there were only a few stragglers that were gainfully employed, so they will stand trial. In other words, the aces are no more. Thanks to your selfless actions, you were pardoned, but we've got to make a name for you, too. You're right, I do have a scheme brewing. Well, less of a scheme, more of a dream that I'd forgotten about until now. One that I can dust off and make new. I want to develop a program. When we were growing up, we didn't get to be kids. Everything we had, everything we did, was all for the gang. For Ripley. And we both know that the Aces were not the only gang on Centaurus, let alone in this sector. What if we started something up to give those kids a real chance? Kajani's looking for a way to take care of them while also meeting the requirements of the sentence. They have to be rehabilitated for a while instead of them joining the military. We could give them education, a roof, food, training even, but also a chance to play and travel and develop hobbies and interests and dreams. A safe place for them to transition from that life into a real one. One where they have more options than just danger. And if it works well for the Aces kids, then maybe we can expand it to other groups, other planets. Your smile tells me that you think it's a good idea. It's not just for the kids, though. If you and I head this up, it's a way for you to prove yourself, too. Those diplomats will stop doubting you if you've got something positive like that tied to your name. Besides, a lot of those kids already reported to you in the past, and I know they trust you. Of course, we would still travel and take jobs for Kajani. We can balance it all. After all, there are 2 of us. 3 of us. We'll talk to Kajani about it before we leave.
You had best have a vacation itinerary in hand before you mention this plan. The senator will not likely agree until she knows for certain that you will take time off.
You're not wrong. Far be it from me to disobey the direct orders of one of the most formidable women in the galaxy. Where do you want to go first? Yeah, that would be cool. The Koronix Food Festival is coming up. We could make it a point to stop by, spend a few days. It's in a few weeks. It would be easy to do that on our way back from somewhere else. What else?
Renegade, if I may interject. The captain's dopamine levels surge whenever she mentions the Celestial Ridge Trail on Delta 1. I believe this destination would make her the happiest.
See? Can I have no secrets?
Not this time.
Yeah, of course she's telling the truth. I mean, are you sure though? Delta 1 is all the way on the other side of the galaxy, and that's quite a lot of walking. You're still recovering.
Perhaps a visit to the hot springs on Sylvan 4 will speed up the recovery process. It would be a perfect way to start your trip on a relaxing note.
I agree. Z has spent a lot of time thinking about this.
0.07 seconds is not a lot of time.
All right. How about 5 days at a resort on Sylvan 4 to rest and recuperate? Then the Celestial Ridge Trail. If we take it slow and enjoy the hostels, that'll be over a week. And then we'll finish it up with 3 days of the Koronix Food Festival. And of course, we can leave a handful of days free for just stopping off anywhere else you might want to see. Literally anywhere. Do not hold back. This is your first real vacation, ever. I want you to let completely loose. Even more than that one time we stole Angus's credits and spent them all on sweets. I am fairly certain that we can find a candy store somewhere along the way if that's what you want. I'm looking forward to this. No, I usually don't kick back and relax, but for you, I will make an exception.
Renegade. To what do I owe the pleasure? And you're calling from the Zephyr. Isn't that a little risky? All right. Yes, I have what you've asked for. Not directly in hand yet, but I'll be able to obtain it and pass it along within 48 hours. I'm sorry, that's as quickly as I can get my hands on it. There are processes for these things, as you well know. I'm given to understand we're meeting tomorrow to discuss some idea of Andromeda's. I'll delay it to buy us a little time. She knows how busy I am. She won't think twice if I delay an appointment by 1 day. The next time I contact you, I'll simply send you coordinates for the pickup. The passphrase will be strawberry jam. Of course. You know, she will be furious if she finds out this is going on behind her back. Then we'd best not get caught. Bye for now.